Okay, guys, I'm going to start something today, and we'll see if this keeps up. Maybe I keep doing it, maybe I don't. We'll see. But every day on Grad Life, what I'm going to do right now is I'm first going to look at yesterday's top comments. My name is Nish says, completely unsure if Wyatt is being serious or sarcastic. 87 thumbs up. What do you think? What do you think, you? You guys are smart. What do you think? Sarcastic. Lemmy Wemmy Jammy Manvid says, what do you say? I'm fat. I've been watching you from day one, and now this. Sorry, man. Sucks being fat, I know. And then I'm going to tell you about something that's going on in the world today. The Hunger Games opened across America at midnight last night, okay? According to pretty much every indicator and metric that analysts put stock in, this is probably going to be the biggest damn thing in a while. In fact, some theaters added 3 a.m. showtimes because the 12 a.m. showtimes were fucking sold out. When does that happen? That never happened. Now, when we say big things, what do we mean by big things? I'll tell you what we mean by big things, okay? For scale, here's the top 10 highest grossing movies ever. Okay, we have Avatar, we have Titanic, we have Harry Potter, we have Transformers, Dark of the Moon, we have Lord of the Rings, The Return of the King, Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Man's Chest, Toy Story 3, Pirates of the Caribbean, On Stranger Tides, Alice in Wonderland, Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace. Top of the list, 2.8 billion roundup. Below that, 1.8 billion roundup. Wow, rest of them around $1 billion. Okay, so we're talking billions of dollars here. Billions of dollars. Now, this list is, of course, crap because of inflation. It doesn't actually account for the highest grossing movies of all time, considering the fact that you couldn't spend $1 billion on a movie a few years ago. If we're talking inflation of the highest grossing movie ever, it would have to be Gone with the Wind. It was made in 1939. It made a fuck ton, okay? So if we're only talking like the past 10 years or so, the effects of inflation aren't that felt. So we can sort of get a general understanding of how movies tend to fare against each other, you know. Do you see a general trend here? Do you see a little trend, okay? Besides the fact that pretty much everything James Cameron puts his name on is guaranteed to make up $1 jillion. So he's got Titanic, he's got Avatar. The guy's held the record for the highest grossing movie for the past 15 years across 2 different franchises. 2. He's responsible for generating at least $4.5 billion for 20th Century Fox. $4.5 billion. That's just in my lifetime. You know what? That's higher than the yearly GDP of Fiji. Avatar had about 2,000 people working on it, 1,700 I've heard. Fiji has a population of 849,000. That's a little bit more. Movies make a lot of money. That puts Pandora as about the 160th richest country in the world in 2009. And now they have Titanic 3D. Hey guys, I wonder if James Cameron's going to get the go-ahead for Avatar 3. But that brings me to my next point. All movies that people see nowadays, and therefore the only movies that studios are going to make, are franchises. It's what people want, and dollars speak louder than words. It's just the way it is. Don't believe me? Okay, check this out. 8 out of 10 of the highest grossing movies are built on previously developed intellectual property from the list that we just looked at. However, so was John Carter. Which might actually be the most expensive flop in history, mind you. But I think it violates some basic logic when it comes to producing IP and things like that, which is you don't make a big budget movie on a 100-year-old IP that no one even knows about anymore because everyone you cared about it's long dead. It's basically like walking into a studio executive's office and saying, hey guys, let's reboot Maya the Bee. You know that children's fairy tale from 100 years ago in Germany? Well, I got a great idea. We're going to reboot it and we're going to hire 2 unknowns to be Maya and her friend Willie. Now, actually, that sounds pretty fucking awesome in hindsight, but that's not the point. Fuck it. Now, on that list, 7 of 10 of the highest grossing movies of all time are just sequels or reboots of something else. Here's a list of the highest grossing weekends ever. Take a list. Harry Potter, Dark Knight, Twilight Saga, whatever, just, you know, stupid shit. I guess Alice in Wonderland isn't technically a sequel, but it's a reboot, I guess. Or maybe it's a sequel, whatever you want to call it. Who cares? It's Alice in Wonderland. Now, since The Hunger Games has reportedly had more ticket pre-sales than any other movie in history, and I heard about maybe 2,000 theaters have been completely sold out before the movies even started, well, it's probably going to make that list of top 10 highest grossing weekends ever. But you know what the best part is? The Hunger Games is just the first part of a 3-part trilogy. A piece of trivia for you if you want to sound smart, okay? If The Hunger Games can break 116 million in its opening weekend, it'll beat out Alice in Wonderland, which puts it in the top 10 list. And in the top 10 list, it will be the only movie, when it comes to grossing on their first weekend, that isn't actually just a sequel. That's a big deal, especially considering we're definitely going to get 2 more, and God knows how many spin-offs. Of course, this wasn't always the case that movies adopted from recent popular young adult fiction went on to be the best-selling movies of all time, continuously over and over again. Of course, a lot of that has to do with the fact that people love young adult novels because most Americans can't really read that well. So yeah, it wasn't always that way. Which, I don't know, you know, is that a bad thing? I don't know. That's who says what's bad. I just know that I'm really tired of watching teen adult things, you know? Now, this list I'm going to show you now, of course, is adjusted for inflation because there's no way that a movie made in 1939 could compete with a movie made nowadays as far as how much money it's going to make, even if it was the greatest grossing movie, like, in that era. So, of course, we've adjusted it for inflation, and we see that we have Gone with the Wind, Star Wars, Sound of Music, E.T., Ten Commandments, Titanic, Jaws, Doctor something or other, The Exorcist, and Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Now, not too bad. James Cameron made the list of Titanic. That's not too bad at all, James. Way to go, man. You're really awesome. Now, none of those are sequels. Those were all original IP at the time. They may have been based on books and things like that, but they had never seen the screen before. In Star Wars, yes, it would go on to make a million sequels, but at that point, it was just a new thing. It was anything. So, you know, and look what we ended up with, Star Wars. And as a result of having Star Wars, look what everyone wants to do. Keep making the same franchise over and over again. It is about money. So, yeah, not really depressing so much as it is just a sobering reality of the fact that movies will always continue to be this way for a while now until something drastic changes. So yeah, enjoy your popcorn flicks. A teen angst, vampire, fantasy, post-apocalyptic, magic, coming out, fitting in story, because that's what you're going to get from now on. You're always going to get that anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Who cares? Just enjoy the movie, eat some popcorn. Here's a quote from Jean-Luc Godard, New Wave French cinema critic guy. He said, "I pity the French cinema, for it has no money. And I pity American cinema, for it has no ideas." Here's what I did yesterday. Spliced in with some footage of what I did the day before yesterday, because yesterday I made that stupid video about leave Katie alone. You should go check it out if you hadn't. Go tell somebody. I did a good fake, I think. Didn't I? Did I do a fake? I don't know. Yeah. Hope I didn't make you too mad. Got some dislikes.
Basically couldn't ask for a crappier day, but I'm just taking headshots, so at least the depth of field should be pretty tight, so doesn't really matter. I got lights anyway, so.
Can I be in John Carter now? Can I be in John Carter now?
Yeah, we were just taking headshots of Amanda.
I got a haircut.
Yeah, I can't tell.
No, nobody can.
It's sad. I'm getting more confident with headshots, definitely. Also, Amanda's beautiful, which makes it so easy. You got a gorgeous one there.
She's gorgeous.
It's really funny that some viewers constantly confuse Amanda and Ricky. I think that's really funny. Uh-oh.
Amanda's the one doing the improv you all hate.
Yeah. Ricky's the one, yeah. Amanda's the outspoken one you hate. Ricky's the quiet one you hate. Oh, it's spring. Oh, I gotta cross the fucking road. Don't you break my little parasol or whatever that is.
This painfully hip store is where I got Alex's shoes. Look how painfully hip it is. It's called a liquor store. They don't sell liquor, they sell clothes.
Holy shit, they have hats in the window, man. No smoking. Bummer. Ah, spring. Yeah, this is some hip shit. This Circle Rouge.
I'm not a businessman, I'm a businessman. Let me handle my businessman.
I'm going to a YouTube meeting now. Apparently there's something happening at Google. I got an invitation yesterday, so I'm looking into it. Whoa, weird. Sidewalk's closed. Let's go in here. It's like a fun house. Yeah, so definitely in Chelsea. Jesus Christ. I can't deal with this place. I mean, I love it, but like, oh my god. Now, Google's around here, I think that way. This is the Apple store over here, if you guys have been here. I kind of want to look at an iPad 3. I don't want one, but I kind of want to look at one. This is so difficult, Google.
So, if you haven't seen it, it's at youtube.com/playbook and chairman of IWTV. He will also be live tweeting tonight. He is the VP and Group Director of Brand Content at Digitas. And he's the producer of In Search of Incredible with Jason Mraz. So thank you again.
I'm kind of sneaking around right now because I saw a really cool view over here in the patented Google balls. Look at that, dude. That's crazy. I feel like I'm in a movie whenever I'm doing that, you know? Like I shouldn't, I snuck in here. Well, I did sneak in here, but like that I really actually shouldn't be in here as opposed to being quasi shouldn't be in here. Ooh, snack machine. Cool, Chelsea Market. The thing that sucks most about the subway right now is that it closes down, at least my line, at 10 o'clock, so I have to get off the fucking island. That was pretty informative, I guess. It was sort of a lot of, hey, you know what you really should be doing? You should be tagging. And then when people ask how you tag, they're like, well, that's an art. And you're like, God damn it. So for you guys out there, just remember that you can be making really good content. That still doesn't matter. That sucks, isn't it? But hey, there's always hope because you just gotta learn how to do crap like that, which I'm learning myself. I'll let you know if I ever think of anything good. Tell me this isn't a fucking movie set. Or like a really, you know, like 90s-ish Universal ride. Just tons and tons and tons and tons and tons and tons of fog. Shut the fuck up, you sneaker freak. Here's a YouTube tip for you. Don't yell. The camera can hear you just fine, even though nobody's near you and you feel like you have to yell to, you know, get to somebody, you can just talk. And it's okay. I find myself screaming all the time. I do that anyways, but especially with the camera.
I mean, Katy Perry does not watch these videos because Katy Perry is a star and doesn't have time for this shit. But if she did, she would be... Well, she probably wouldn't care. But you should care. You shouldn't be mean to people, especially Katy Perry, because fucking Katy Perry's the best. Also, this totally doesn't glorify the Marines. What the fuck are people saying? It's fucking hard looking. This looks so fucking hard. I couldn't do this.